He was nearly at the end, skin and bones, weak and sick, yet there was something unmissable in his eyes, light, a spark that quietly said he wasn't done yet. His name was Elephant, and despite his age and the weight of his past, he wasn't ready to let go. After spending nearly 18 years with his original family in rural Manitoba, he fell gravely ill. His body had started to shut down, and his owners were ready to give up on him. But fate had other plans. A rescue group stepped in not to save him, but to give him comfort in his final days. They expected only a few weeks with him, just a soft place to say goodbye. But as they got to know Elephant, something changed. He didn't act like a dog on his last days. There was curiosity, a quiet strength, and most of all, hope. He was taken on a long 2-day journey from Manitoba to Ontario. Along the way, those following his story watched his transport updates closely. Every mile brought him closer to a second chance he didn't even know was waiting. His arrival was quiet, but the moment his eyes met the person who would care for him, something clicked. He leaned in and gave a kiss, one that said, "Thank you," and maybe even, "I'm not done yet." Elephant arrived in heartbreaking shape. His fur was almost entirely gone from his shoulders to his tail. His skin was raw, thin, and patchy. He was severely underweight, anemic, battling infections, and carrying a tapeworm. Even more worrying, a large tumor sat near his prostate. The outlook was grim, and yet he walked in with a calm presence, like he had already decided to stay a little longer. Treatment began, not aggressive but thoughtful. A decision was made to neuter him, and something incredible happened. His tumors began to shrink. Then one by one, they vanished. His appetite returned, his body started filling out, and fur began to grow again where skin had once been exposed. Slowly, the fragile old dog no one expected to live through the month became stronger, heavier, even a little chunky. Days passed, then weeks. Weeks turned to months. And now it's been over 2 years since that short-term hospice plan. Elephant had no intention of giving. He learned to enjoy warm meals, soft beds, and quiet days. Not just one bed, 3, each with its own pile of cozy blankets. He found joy in naps by the fireplace and short daily walks. 2 little strolls a day, about 20 minutes each, were enough to satisfy his curious snout and gentle heart. At his age, everything slowed down, but he took it all in like it was his first time seeing the world. Other dogs seemed to sense something special in him. They gravitated toward, perhaps pulled by his calm energy. Even the most playful or anxious pups softened around. He brought out peace in others, a quiet wisdom that couldn't be only earned. Hydrotherapy sessions became a regular out. He never pushed too hard but always participated, never overdoing it, just enough to stay moving, stay present, and keep living. His home was redesigned with him in mind. Everything sat on one level. A ramp was built so he could still get outside easily. In the summer, he traveled to a cottage, riding in a wagon when walks became too tired. It wasn't about keeping, it was about being included, feeling the breeze and hearing the bird. No longer was his life measured by the limits of age, but by the simple joys of each new moment. Though his body aged, Elephant's spirit grew even brighter. He loved deeply and loved naps, loved food, loved comfort, and especially those who cared for him. His days were now filled with softs. No more cold floors or painful nights. Now it was warmth, safety, and peace. His time was no longer borrowed, it was a gift. Every single moment was extra, and every breath was full of. At around 20 years old, he has become something almost mythical, an ancient soul, in a soft, present. He's a quiet lesson in finding joy, even when everything once seemed lost. His caregivers say it's all bonus time to be cherished, never rushed, never taken. He sleeps peacefully, curled beside the fire or tucked under his blanket. His body is slower now, but his heart has never been more. He continues to be loved, cared for, and deeply and when the time does come, there is only the promise that his final chapter will be written in peace. No more cold goods, just gentle hands, quiet whispers, and the soft sound of blankets being tucked around. Elephant wasn't supposed to, not just survived.